Damn, I did it again. There's a little mute button on my mic, guys. And when I'm getting it in position, I must bump it all the time. Sorry. Anyway, can you hear me now okay? Pop a 1 in the chat if you can hear me all right. Sorry about that. It happens all the time. I know, oops, I did it again. Yes, and I love Britney. Who doesn't love Britney? Free Britney. My little niece, she is the biggest Britney fan ever. I know this is off topic, but a shout out to her. She's the biggest Britney fan you'll ever meet in your life. And she's been to Las Vegas, and when Britney was doing her, there's a word for it, but I can't think of it. You know that, is it like a tenure thing? Yeah, anyway, she went to Las Vegas and did a meet and greet with Britney, and it was the highlight of her life. And yeah, but oops, I keep doing it again and again, don't I? Yeah, what I was saying when I was muted was hello to everybody. Josie and Miss Justice, thank you guys for coming in. Patty, Miss Layla, Kim Snuffleupagus. I love Snuffleupagus. I can't say it. Snuffleupagus on Sesame Street. Hi, Amanda Hudson. It's been a big couple of days with this Grandis chat, hasn't it? I believe it's genuinely Grandis in them chat messages with Emma. I know we've had our little dose during the week of Don Wells impersonators and all sorts of stuff, but it's a little bit different when it's in a YouTube chat, isn't it, to an actual SM messenger chat, because it's sort of direct, and if you're messaging straight to that page, how can you fake that? Anyone can fake a picture, we all know that, but yeah, I find that hard to believe that it's not Grandis. Share striked AB's channel and he's live tonight. You're kidding me. I didn't know that. And here she is yesterday praising herself up because she doesn't strike people's channels. Like, hypocrite again. I'm sorry, I've had enough of her. I was about to say, before I've just read that, Miss Justice, how their tone has changed over the last couple of days. Has anyone else noticed that? I am not a fan of them, but I watch just so I can see what bullshit they're going to rave on with today. And I watched it last night, and their tone has totally changed, as in they're actually being a little bit critical and a little bit believing that it actually is Grandis in them chat messages. They would have had to set up a fake Facebook with her picture. Yeah. Like, I'm not saying it can't be done, because obviously it can be done. We all know that. Who has a terminal illness? As I said, I was out yesterday all day, so I have missed a bit. So fill me in, guys. So is AB's channel not active? Is that what you're saying? Like, did his live go down? Oh, so she just striked his channel and he's live tonight. Oh, okay. So he's going to address that on his live tonight. Okay. Yeah, She was on here a couple of days ago. I don't strike people's channels. They can criticize me all they like, but I don't do that. Yeah. But I did notice they did a 30-minute live this morning, and she's saying that, she's on the fence. She doesn't know, but she believes that it probably could be Grandis. But in the next breath, she's saying she had them on that conference call and Grandis got so angry, and 100% it's not Grandis. So she doesn't even know what she believes. Well, she's not saying one way or another. She's going to die from starvation. Who's going to die from starvation? That's fine. He's just going to respond to her. Oh, yeah, that's what I thought you meant, Miss Justice. At first, I thought you meant she took his channel down altogether. Yeah, it's just insane. Mystery Angels is going to die from starvation. I haven't watched her the last couple of days. Hubby and I went and had our first COVID shots yesterday, and we had to travel out of town to get them. They're not available. Well, there's only one surgery in our town that had them, and he wasn't taking new patients, so we had to travel, and yeah, it just sort of put me out for the day. But I'm good. I don't feel sick in any way. My arm is, I had the Pfizer. We both had Pfizer, and it's really, really sore to lift up and stuff. But I think you get that with a lot of injections, not just this one. You thought, Miss? Oh, I wasn't sure, to be honest, but I'm pretty sure she is a girl, isn't she? Doctor said it will be painful. Yeah. Yeah, it's because they did it so high up on the arm. It's like to lift the arm up, it's just annoying is all. Yeah, she is a girl. I thought she was a girl. But like initially, right at the beginning, I thought she was a guy too. So, but she's so passionate, isn't she? Like, she is all over it, and it's like wasting disease, I think. Oh, okay. That's sad. That's very sad. So, guys, I don't know, but I feel like I totally respect Emma and the panel for their live yesterday and discussing and showing them messages from Grandis, whether it is her or not. I believe it is. But I think the timing of it has suited the shares 1000%, because now they get to avoid the SA conversation, and it's all about the messages with Grandis. And to me, it's just opportunistic for them to be able to use that and avoid what should be asked. And where's Donald been since Chris's last live? So Don said because Jeannie wasn't a blood relative, it's okay. Oh my God. It's... Are you serious? He is one sick, demented... Like, this guy plays dumb. Don't you think? Like, he is not as stupid as he makes out he is. I'm sorry, but he's not as dumb as dog shit as he tries to make out he is. He thinks he's so much cleverer than anyone else because he's playing dumb. Yeah, Chris is having a show tomorrow. That'll be very, very interesting. And because Chris put that fake thumbnail up about the 40 minutes, do you see how they're all carrying on about the 40 minutes? Like, oh my God. I think it's longer than 40 minutes. That's just my, and the whole day's timeline. Hi, Doug, how are you? The timeline, guys. I wanted to talk about the timeline because other than what Chris has verified with the businesses that he went and visited, there is no timeline, in my opinion, because everything changes and adapts to whatever they feel they have to fill in. It's just not verified. They can't prove anything. They change it every second day of the week. There was a policeman there. There wasn't a policeman there. Oh, I think I got home in 40 minutes. This is initially. Now let's change it to, oh, no, I was there in 25 minutes. They're going to remove part of my, oh, that's horrible. So sorry, Amanda. Yeah, and we all think we have problems, but seriously, guys, there are so many people doing it tough in every way. We've got to think of each other. Yeah, so with the timeline, I don't believe, like, I understand that Hunter was with her for a while, but you can't confirm Hunter's story of events and how that all went. Like, he was with a big deal, but everything else other than the businesses that Chris has confirmed in the timeline, all that section of it is obviously correct because Chris has gone and talked to them and da-di-da. But as for when they dropped Hunter off and when the photo was taken in the back of the car, when they got home, the rest of the day is all rubbish as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, it's just ridiculous that, something comes out and they change their story again. Oh, it's 25 minutes, I got home. I did a load of washing that was thrown in there to fill in a bit of time. Most washing machines these days, I don't know, I haven't seen their washing machine. If anyone else has seen it, let me know. But most washing machines in this day and age, you just throw a load of washing in there and turn it on. And then you wait. So what were you doing while the clothes were washing? But, yeah, she didn't hear the scream because she was inside with the boys. I don't know about the scream. Obviously, law enforcement know about the scream. But I don't think. I was watching Tiffany yesterday and we were trying to work out where this neighbour actually lived on the map to see distance-wise and, how far away it actually was. And it's really hard to see closely that anyone would be in the proximity that they would be able to hear someone scream. And as Don said, it was a muffled scream. It was a horrific scream and it still haunts her to this day. So it had to be a loud scream, you would think. Yeah. Yeah, Miss Justice, it is BS as far as I'm concerned. But, if it was muffled like someone had their hand over the mouth, then how could that be loud enough for someone to hear? You know, I was going to put my hand over one of my granddaughter's mouths and tell her to scream just so I could do it, but I thought it'd be a bit traumatic. So, and they think I'm nutty enough without putting my hand over her mouth and telling her to scream. But we did an experiment with the milk cartons, and I think my granddaughter lasted like 3 minutes, 4 seconds or something. But it wasn't full to the top either. But it was pretty cold. But why is it barely just coming out about the scream? Well, True Crime Cindy, did you all see that? She did a little video where she played a portion of Chris McDonough's interview with Candace when they were out in the backyard, and Candace stated to Chris that, oh, my neighbour heard a scream, but I didn't hear it because I was inside with the boys. So if that's the same scream that Donald's talking about, which I gather it would be, I don't know. But yeah, Don had to make a big thing about that on his last live with the shares. Yeah, that should have been said 2 months ago, Kim. I agree. And the Jackie Dobbs situation, that's all very, very sketchy, isn't it? Like, that guy just brings suspicion upon himself. And I followed, like, I was stalking his Facebook page way back, you know, like week 2. You didn't hear which part, Miss Justice? The scream yeah, she does say it to Chris. I'll see if I can find it in a second and I'll play it. She does say that to Chris. Oh, one of my neighbours heard a scream. Candace says it to Chris, that she was inside and she didn't hear the scream. He has my first name. Oh, really? Well, there you go. Yeah, I'll play it in a second. But the scream thing is very questionable. But Chris's live tomorrow is going to be very, very interesting as well. And did you see that there's been 6 women come forward now as SA victims? But as Don would say, if they're not blood, then it doesn't matter. Guys, there was a part in Voices Behind the Wall as well, in their live I watched last night, where they're saying they believe Don. So they're going to go down the road from what I watched last night with their next big live. I don't know whether they're going to have Don on there, but they're going to address the SA thing, okay? So look out for that. And the way it sounded to me is she kept quoting Chris's statement about it's a learned behaviour. Where did Donald learn this? Okay, this is from Mrs. Share. So they're going to go down the road of Don was a victim of SA as well, and because it's so normal to him, then he thought it was okay to do. Okay, this is the way I perceived what she was saying, and that, you know, to him it's totally normal and to him it's okay. I'm sorry, but he is a 57-year-old man. You can't tell me in his adult life that he has not learned that that is not okay. Come on now. Like, come on now. But I predict that's the avenue they're going to go down. Any money you like. They're going to defend his dumbness, that because he is a victim of it, then he thinks that that's normal. Do you think, guys? Yep, I totally predict that's what's going to go down. And it makes me sick to my stomach, like physically sick, where I could vomit. I'm not even joking you. How can you have, like, he had 2 kids before he met Candace, so he has 4 more kids, and he hasn't learnt in 57 years that touching a child is not okay. And because he's a survivor, as he is going to no doubt say, that that's just normal. Because Mrs. Scher even says that Donald said, you know, this is, he talks about it so plainly, she says, like he's so vocal about it that he doesn't know that it's not okay. Like, shoot me now, guys. Seriously, shoot me now. He is a 57-year-old guy. He seems to be able to work in the workforce with other males and adult people and communicates quite well with them, but he doesn't know that SA is not okay. Oh, look, I hope, Kim, I hope so, because he's going to find out what SA is all about in there, in the big house. It's coming. Because Chris said the other day that Jeannie's definitely pressing charges. So it's only a matter of time. He's normalised it. Yeah, because he wants to normalise it. It's a choice, isn't it? 100%. He uses it for his own benefit. Of course, it's not normal. Like, we all know that, and he bloody knows it. Don't come at me with, oh, he has no idea because it's normal. Like, he knows it's not normal, guys. 100% he knows. Yeah, I know, Kim, but it's interesting to watch what Donald has to say. And because she's orchestrating everything, Mrs. Scher, you can see, I fully expect their next live to be Donald the victim again, and this is learnt behaviour, and he thinks it's okay. He is very warped, yes. It just makes my head hurt so badly when more and more women are coming out, and these are just people, I assume, that are a part of Jeannie's circle, maybe. I'm not sure whether they're, I don't know, I think Chris will give more light on that tomorrow. But I'll see if I can find True Crime Cindy's little thingy. What did I do? We'll play. I don't know if I told you guys, but I was talking to Emma from Crime Stories Obsessed, and she said we could go through and look at their video. And Doug, if you're still here, you have to stop with the shows, with the Chris impersonations. It's a deadly serious minute. And then you hear Doug say, and sure, and I've lost it again. He's a funny little guy. And it's good to have a laugh, isn't it? But, yeah, Doug cracks me up with his little impersonations. AB was just sharing clip of Mr. Cher talking his way out of what he said. Yeah. We should go and... do you want to have a look at Mr. Cher's thingo? Apparently he was defending what him and Benny were saying about SA. Is that right, Newport Marina? Yeah. He I'll see if I can get it up here. AB was just sharing clip of Mr. Cher talking his way. Well, maybe they'll strike AB again. But they don't strike people, remember? Yeah. I don't know. I'm not subscribed to Mr. Cher, but him and Benny they had some comments on that same live with Mrs. Cher where they were talking about SA and Donald's perception of it. And then Mrs. Cher today is raving on about how women, get this one, women do not like males talking about SA because it makes us mad. Really? It's a three-ring circus. But as I said, while they're talking about Grandis's messages, they're not talking about what really needs to be talked about. Well, I'm not sure, Josie. I think there's different types of strikes where sometimes it can take your channel down altogether. I've seen that happen quite a bit lately. And then I think, well, you're sort of suspended, aren't you? I'm not 100% sure. As I said, I am new and I am learning. I think they've all lost their minds because they're all in, they're basically every time something comes out, they're just right up there to try and debunk everything. AB has the AB archive channel also. Oh, okay. Yeah, it has to be reviewed and you're suspended while it's been reviewed. Isn't that right, Miss Justice? And I haven't seen Mountain Girl back up as yet. I thought she would have just been low for a couple of days and then come back. And they struck Mystery Angels channel. Wow. Well, she threatened to strike me, but she hasn't done it yet because I haven't been suspended or anything. But guys, I don't know if you were here back then, but she did come in here and threaten me with that. And I was respectful and nice to her and said I'd put her link and everything in the description. And then she went on a live and totally threw me under the bus. So I lose respect for people when they do things like that. Like I was respectful and she does nothing but preach, be kind, respect others. You know, you don't have to come in here and be hateful. But she does it also. She just doesn't do it as obviously as other creators. Like other creators will say what they think, and this woman's more cunning. She's more deviant. But if you go back and look through some of her videos, she seems to go for the for the drama. And I've noticed with a lot of the drama channels she has in her library where she's been not so much true crime, but she's carrying more on with the drama than the actual stories. Did you take screenshots of it? Yeah, I have. I've got screenshots. I took photos of her in the chat. Not your channel, that other channel, sorry. Okay. She's a nut. Yeah, she totally is a nut. But AB will sort her out. He says it like it is. And yeah. And so does Tiffany. Like, Tiffany's amazing. I watch all Tiffany's stuff. And you can feel with her how compassionate she is. And, you know, she's on it. It's about Summer. It's not about Donald defending Donald. That's just the way. Have you ever seen another case where a suspect is on social media like this guy has been on social media? Like relentlessly loving every bit of the attention because it's insane. Yeah, timing-wise, it's a little bit hard. I can't seem to catch a time where I can be on where I'm not on when AB's on or I'm not on when Tiffany's on. So it's hard to find a little slot where I can fit in so we can not interrupt each other, sort of thing. Not that I've got anything to worry about with viewers like these guys get, but yeah, I love Tiffany. And the posters she does and all that sort of thing. She's a very clever girl. But anyway, we might play a little bit of this, of their panel, and look at these messages.
Hi. So please, if you haven't already subscribed to their channels, please go across after the live, check them out. They've got some really great really great content, and the reason why I've asked them here tonight is because they come highly recommended by myself. So what you've all been waiting for, tonight's live stream, comes to you from
exactly,
England, New
Miss
Jersey,
Justice,
Washington, California, and Canada.
All the work's been done for them.
This is going to be a hard one for me, to be honest. I'll tell you why in a second. So everybody in here is welcome to their opinion. Even if I don't agree with it, that's absolutely fine. Everybody's welcome, as long as it's kind. And let's just remember, guys, we're here for Summer. That's the only reason why we're here. Now, some of you have said to me, Emma, why did we have to wait till Friday to get this information? And I said I would explain later. And those reasons were, first of all, I've been on nights all week. The second of which was that as soon as I started this live tonight, my communication with this person was obviously going to end. Now, for the past week, I have been in communication with Grandma Candace, one of the last people to see Summer. Not only that, one of the closest people to her, and one of the last people to have seen or heard from her.
Yeah, exactly, Kim. You would think so, wouldn't you?
Now,
Emma, can I get in and
just one thing I wanted to say. With everything that the shares are saying, indeed, you are a pit. You are a pit. Okay. I'm not sure what that means, Cherish. But hi. I hope you're being nice. Because I wouldn't like to get... Oh, you are spot on. I don't know about being spot on, but I just say what I think, guys. There's so much that... Like, you could literally sit here all day, couldn't you? And go over every little thing that is said, but I honestly think that the timing of all of this with the grandest messages has played right into Donald and the shares lap, because now they got something else to divert away from the issues. And, you know, whatever gets them off the hook with what really matters is what they're going to do.
And there was another channel that was in the chat earlier that said that Grandy or Grandma has not done any interviews for
Yes.
2.5 years. I just wanted to make that a point that a conversation isn't exactly an interview.
And that's true, isn't
nor
it?
was it intended
I agree
to be
with
one.
Doug there. This wasn't an
it
interview.
turned out to be one. So not all conversations have to
Did
be
I say
labeled an
Don or
interview. I
Doug?
just wanted to kind of get that straight with people.
I agree
And
with
it's
Doug.
definitely not a deposition or an interrogation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly show you a 30-second clip. I shouldn't have to do this, but this is to prove to you that this is the person that I have been speaking to. This is Candace's Facebook page. If you go down to her friends list, click on friends.
So this is the bit why I believe
Candace
it actually is Grandis.
Hara, which is her mother. There we go. And then we want to speak to her like we have been doing.
Because if you're going into it this way,
takes you straight to all the conversations I've had with her.
that's a little bit harder to fake, isn't it?
Okay. So that was the little 30-second clip that I wanted you to have a look at. Okay. So at no point tonight will she be here, as far as we're aware. Now, some of you are going to say, what we're going to tell you tonight, some of this may shock you a little bit. I certainly know it's going to cause a bit of drama, but what I hope to do is create some intelligent ongoing questions and answers to what could have possibly happened to Summer. And now, as you know, Don has been a very prominent figure in the YouTube community and in the media.
Can you guys hear the audio okay?
Narratives and story changes. That is my
exactly, Kim. Why admit
but
it?
Does
and
it have
then
anything to do with Summer's disappearance? Was it an accident, a cover-up,
then
or was she abducted?
Defend yourself.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start off by looking at some of these messages. First of all, I'd just like to say that I spoke to Gran, and she was a really nice person, to be honest. And after speaking to her about crystals and rocks and all sorts for days, she opened up to me, and she was one of the nicest, friendliest people that I could have met. I could not say really enough nice things about her, but obviously we're here for Summer, and we need to find out as much as we can about what happened. Tonight we're going to hear about what she said regarding the disappearance of Summer, what she thinks happened to her, what was the last thing she said to her, what she felt about the screams that night, talk about the Subaru, what happened when they got home after being out shopping, what she thinks of Don and Candace's relationship, the boys. Will Candace leave Don? Are the boys separated or not? I got answers to most of these questions.
Guys, another thing I was thinking about today is I wonder what Grandis thinks of the essay and what she thinks of her daughter being with someone who has admitted to this. Because I know if my daughter was with someone that had all this coming out, I would physically be there dragging her by her backside out of that place. But as we know, Grandis' brother is about to get out of jail I will have to look it up, but he is like big time badass essay, violent. offender. Okay, so maybe it's normal in Grandis's eyes as well, but yeah, I wonder what she's thinking about all of this. It's crazy.
There's loads. So we're going to start. Okay. And what we're going to do is I'm going to bring up a question. I'm going to mention a question. I'm going to put the answer on the screen, and then we're going to talk about it. Okay. So
yeah, we do,
the first
Kim.
question, I asked her if she was okay, and I said I hope that everything was not too stressful for her. And I asked her, you know, when do you go back? When do you go back to Candace's place? Can you see the screen, guys?
No, that's what else I thought. Hang on, guys. I just got to say this because, as you know, it'll go out of my brain. I think the shares, that's where I was going with this as well, and I forgot to add it. As I predict that they're going to say, you know, everything that's normal to Don and everything. The other thing I think they're going to say in their next live is that it's Rose Meyer doing this chat with Emma from True Crime Stories Obsessed. I bet you any money they're going to say Rose Meyer had the logins, and Rose Meyer is the person that's actually talking to Emma and not Grandis. I would like to have a bet with someone. Let's have a bet. That's what they're going to say. Because Rose Meyer was helping them with their GoFundMe and everything else, they're going to say that Emma was actually talking to Rose Meyer and not Grandis. So we'll see, won't we?
For a second, we did. Why did she do? Why, in fact, did she leave where she was? Did she feel in fear for her safety?
Yeah, exactly.
Did she talk about that by any chance?
Her answer was, I'm fine. I'm at my sister's and husband's, and we're doing good. And I'm here as stress and depression was getting me too far down. And then she said, I'm not sure when I will be going back. Not until I've got my medical done. Candace is okay. That's
no takers.
Candace is okay, and I speak with her every day.
Sorry, guys, I'll try and be quiet for 5 minutes.
She's a strong person like me. Okay, so that was just kind of a start off the conversation. I was just asking her how she was. So I asked her, what did she think happened to Summer? The answer to that was between us, his mouth and his actions are going to put him where he belongs.
So that's telling, isn't it?
I think he's involved. No, don't feel bad for asking.
Absolutely hunt for justice.
Okay, guys. What do you think to that?
There's no love lost between Grandma Candace and Dawn, that's for sure.
And Dawn said that. They never used to get along.
Neither one of them like each other. He doesn't like her, although he claims to say that they're getting along better now than they used to, but
I don't think they've ever gotten along.
I agree with that.
It seems to me like it's an invisible prison. It seems like there's really no walls around there or any jails keeping them there, but it seems like they're there for some reason. Or, you know, Grandma, you know, could she afford to live somebody or somewhere else kind of thing? Or is it just, you know, convenience? You know, one of those things. A lot of the times people want to separate their relationships from their parents a lot, but I'm just curious to find out, was she there for what purpose? Was she just there to help out?
Well, I mean, initially, I think she went over to help her sister because her sister's husband had a heart attack, so she'd gone over to help him. Now, my question at the time, and I think I made a video on it, was if my daughter had just had was having her children taken off her, which I think they knew about, they'd lost another daughter, at what point would you just disappear to go look after your sister's husband, who the husband isn't going to be your priority? So to me, I believe what she's saying here when she said, I had to go because stress and depression was getting me down. So I think she used that as...
Like, I get that. I get that she had to leave because it was all too much. But after the boys were taken, wouldn't you think she would want to be there for her daughter then? And now, with stakeholders throughout the state in Tennessee, fact come through ER was due to SAF. Yeah. Some people just never, ever, no matter how much older they get, they never, ever get over it, ever. You know, I'm lucky that I was able, I used to always call it a roller door. As I was growing up, I would, and I can still do it to this day with different things that stress me out a lot. I call it, I put it behind the roller door, and I just pretend that, you know, it's in the door, and I pulled that door down and it's gone. You know what I mean? I have that mental capability of being able to do that. And I always have. And that's what's protected me, I guess. Because, yeah, this case seriously has, I've never ever spoken about it with family and things like that. It's really super hard. And for some reason, because you feel so upset and worried and just want the best outcome for Summer, it's not a big deal to talk about your own story, you know. But some people don't have that capability of separating themselves from what has happened. And, you know, it's really hard to try and say what I'm thinking, but yeah, you can see how people fall into substance abuse and everything else, because not everyone can just carry on. Like, I was determined that my children were just going to have the best childhood. Well, I hope they can say they've had the best childhood. My husband and I have tried to give them that, and really good morals and all the rest of it. Yeah, Miss Justice, I think it is. You know, I was lucky enough to find the best man on earth and get married, and I worked from 16 years of age. And yeah, but some people, when they go through that, they just can't. They can't get it out of their head for 5 minutes, never alone put it behind a roller door and pretend it didn't happen, you know? So yeah, it's tricky, isn't it? But it's heartbreaking as well to see people go through this. And, you know, if they feel like I do, that, you know, can you imagine sitting there talking to somebody, and it's different on here with you guys, but in person it's more confronting when you've got a friend that you're sitting there having a cup of coffee with, and how do you talk about it? Like, I would find that so confronting for me, you know, that, you know, yeah, I don't know. I would find that so much harder than it's so much harder to talk about in person.
It's an excuse to go. The husband.
Definitely.
What do you think, Hamzy? Hamzy's gone.
What does she say about her stuff? Is she worried about her items, her possessions?
Yes, I was going to say, like, is she worried about her stuff? or him
Well-
attacking, like not attacking her stuff, but getting rid of her stuff.
Well,
Sorry,
she's got a
Dad.
trailer there, and I think anything that happens to any of her stuff, I think we know exactly what happened to it. So, yeah.
To me, it sounds like somebody wants to crumble. It's just an amount of time. Who's going to crumble? Their safety. Maybe she's worried about. Let's say Candace isn't involved. What is her worry? She's worried about Candace. She's worried about the boys, and she's worried about Summer hopefully coming home one way or another. It seems to me. It doesn't seem like Dawn is in any kind of picture for them after this whole thing resolves. I mean, it seems like they're waiting for him to get locked up before they make their move.
Yeah. Because like I said, I think she used that as an excuse to go, because you wouldn't, would you? If your daughter just lost her children. But also, we've got to take into consideration that this must be bringing back a lot of bad memories. She lost Rosie, didn't she? So the disappearance of Summer is going to cause a lot of flashbacks and things.
Right.
And that was 12 years now, right?
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense that it's bringing up some really dark memories.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
I
know,
would
Kim.
hate to be in her position. I mean, after having your own child go missing and I don't think she ever really recovered from that. And then here you're facing it all again, and it's just the whole family dynamic. I would want to leave too. I mean, honestly.
Yeah, because we don't know what goes on behind closed doors, do we? We don't know if there's any aggression. We don't know if everybody's fine with each other. We just don't know what goes on in other people's houses, do we?
And that's
For
true.
her to
We
even do
really
interviews
don't.
would probably be traumatic enough to bring back,
Yeah.
that whole thing. So I'm sure that's probably why she's refrained. And I'm not making excuses for her in any means, and I'm not saying anyone's guilty or innocent. I'm not pointing the finger like that. I'm just saying, she's also got to keep her best interest involved. And
I
I
know, Kim.
don't know her well enough to say that she would cover for Candace, but I think she would do whatever's in her power to get those kids or help get those boys back.
Yeah. Kim, I don't think anybody's been interviewed. We haven't interviewed her.
I just have to. The state of the house, Miss Justice. Sorry, I stopped it, but it's awful for you guys when I keep talking over the top of them talking. But Miss Justice, the state of the house as well. Like, if you put everything on paper and write a list of the reasons why the boys were taken, not only the SA and the punching and kicking and locking the kids in the basement and all the physical and emotional abuse, you've also got the state of that house. Now, what my brain cannot understand is you look at that house, you look outside that house, and then there's a red Subaru that they pay $600 a month for. Now, this irritates me to no end, okay? Firstly, it's not practical. Can Don and Candace and the 4 kids fit in that car to go somewhere for a day? Like, what? We have a Nissan Pathfinder, a 7-seater, and we're grandparents for our grandkids to travel with us if we want to go on a day trip. Okay? Yeah, we're grandparents and we could have downsized, but my world is my family. So I wanted to be able to accommodate taking my 5 grandchildren with me on a day trip. So we have 7 seats. Wouldn't you think that if you're going to buy a $40,000 car and pay $600 a month, that you would have a vehicle that the whole family could travel in? I just don't get that. And also the fact that they pay $600 a month for a vehicle that they can't all travel in is the fact that couldn't that $600 a month, and I'm not the best money management person out there because I love shopping, so this is a bit hypocritical for me, but wouldn't you think $600 a month being put into their house would be more beneficial than a red Subaru that's sitting out in the driveway? I get it that they live in a desolate area where, they need reliable transport. I totally understand that. But wouldn't you still get something that's reliable, that the whole family can fit in for a lot less? $600 a month. And, another thing that's irritating me, and I know it's got nothing to do with what we're just watching, but I have to say it while I think of it. He's a drywaller, okay? Why hasn't he done some drywalling in his own house and tried to make it more comfortable and, I don't know, more inhabitable, if that's a word, for his family? I just don't understand why it has to be that bad inside the house when he's a drywaller and he could put up new walls and give them a coat of paint and, because he cheated on her. But that's still, if she's all about the kids like she says she is, then why wouldn't she want a vehicle that they could all be in together? These are the things that I sit here and think about sometimes, and I forget to write down, and then when I come on live, it's just gone and I forget about it. But yeah, that's something that really irritates me to no end, that, he raves on about his big $600 a month payment, but $600 in that house every month and a cheaper vehicle that's still reliable to get Candace and the kids in and out of town to do what they got to do and all the rest of it, that's frustrating to me. Big time frustrating.
Grandma was talking to me. That's more of like a text messaging thing rather than a...
Which is more than she's done
exactly,
up until this point. So...
Yeah.
Exactly.
So the next one, we'll move on.
And some doors, Miss Justice.
Comments off the screen.
Like a door on their bedroom at least. It's just...
One thing that I've wondered, just sorry, really quick, is have the police in Wisconsin or wherever she's at, like, questioned her, come and interviewed her? It just seems weird that no one's checked.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
guess they're not letting us know if they have. They might have, but
I hope they have.
Yeah.
I pray that they have, because I was
watching her or something.
there that day. Yeah,
just to see, because it is odd that she would leave. I understand why, but at the same time, your granddaughter's gone missing. Like a lot of people are saying in the chat, how could you leave at the same time? It's 50-50 where I understand where I fall.
That's telling
I
too.
know, like, here, the way our law enforcement...
That's exactly right, Newport Marina. There is no privacy. Did you note it? Like, you don't get a really good bird's eye view of their shower / laundry, whatever it is, off that kitchen area. Do you at all? Like, it's totally... Chris sort of scans over it, but you can't get a really good view of it. But from what it looks like an open area, doesn't it? Like there's not a closable door into that shower area. So everybody's showering and doing all their personal hygiene things virtually in the kitchen with the door open. And yeah, exactly, Kim. Why can't they go and buy a couple of bed frames? Like they're not, you can get bed frames in Australia for like $79. Okay, it's not like it's a huge expense. Why do they not have proper beds? They're not, and they're not poor. Like they're not as poor as you think. If they can afford $600 a month just for a vehicle, they can afford 4 $79 beds. Yeah. Agree, Kim. It is a dungeon, not a basement. But yeah, can you imagine sitting in your kitchen area, lounge room, whatever that big room is, like living area, with all them clothes and everything else there, and no doorway into that wash area, and everyone's just bathing and doing their thing, going to the toilet. Like, what? Come on now, Donald, you're a drywaller. Surely you can put up a couple of doors and make a wash area private. Like, I didn't even see a curtain hanging up. Wouldn't let my dog on. No, I wouldn't let my dog in that basement area to sleep either. And like, I don't know if you guys remember, but earlier on, like weeks ago, they were talking about, I don't know if it's true or not, but someone was stating that there were rats and there were this and that and everything else. Now, if these kids are sleeping on them putrid mattresses on the floor and there's vermin obviously running around, oh my God. An accident waiting happen. Yeah, I still think the stairs have got something to do with some are being hurt or removed or whatever. And I still believe it's about candy, because the candy wasn't an important factor in any of it, okay? It's just, but every single time Candace is spoken to, she has to say, and Summer got candy off Grandma. I don't get that. Like, it's not, in a normal conversation, that wouldn't be important. But I've said this a couple of times in my lives, and this is exactly what I think has happened. I think Grandma's given Summer candy. I don't know how much, but just say she's given her half a dozen bits of candy, and then Summer's gone into the house and the boys have spotted Summer with the candy, and because I know it would happen with my grandkids, if like I've seen it happen over and over again, and it's a normal everyday thing, you know. If one of them go to the shop with Pop and Pop doesn't bring back candy for the other one, then you've got to share what candy you've got, and they'll chase each other around the house for a bit of candy. Like, I've seen it happen so many times, and you can't tell me that that is something that could have happened, like every other scenario out there. But if Summer's walked in the house and she's spirited, as we've seen in all the little TikTok videos, Summer could have come in and, you know, I could see her tormenting the kid like the boys, and look at, I've got candy. And one of them have tried to grab her to get the candy, and she's took off down the stairs and got hurt. You know, it could be something like that. And then Candace has lost it and rang Dawn, and we know the end of the story. I am old. Oh. But yeah, I've got sidetracked again, guys. But once you get going, it's hard to just stop. I never said the same thing about the huge rats. Yeah, you remember that too, Kim? Like someone said they were as big as cats or something. I don't know. But you can understand why there would be rats running around everywhere. And if they're flat on the ground, they could be running all over them kids while they're asleep. Like it's just... The Davies from Welsh DMD Warrior. Welcome. I haven't seen you before. In my opinion, if Don give a damn about those children, he'd have built them bedrooms each, and instead of getting a new car because of domestic violence, he could have bought a fridge full of food. Exactly. I'm not trying to say they didn't need a vehicle. I'm saying they could have got a vehicle that was practical for a family of 6. And even if Donald is at work, surely Candace would want to take Grandma with her because she's there all the time and they seem to travel everywhere together. You could still buy a decent, reliable vehicle that doesn't take that much of your budget away and then do some repairs on your house, so at least you have a private bathroom area and toilet area, and the kids have... I'm not saying there has to be 5 bedrooms and each child should have to have a bedroom. Like lots of kids share their bedrooms and that's totally fine. But there's work he could be doing consistently to upgrade that house because he's in the construction industry. He knows... Well, he built that extension on, apparently. Sorry, guys, I'm getting a dry throat. I'm just going to get a drink and I'll be back.
Enforcement and authorities work. It would be a process that she would have had to go through in order to be able to leave, and I'm 99.9% certain that they probably still have contact with her.
Yep.
I mean, I would hope at the very least that she calls them for updates, But
Yes.
if she was able to leave, then they are pretty sure she had nothing to do with it. They've gotten all the information they needed from her at this point. If there's any changes, now they might request that she come back.
Yeah.
Right. There's no stay-at-home order for her to where you can't
No.
leave the state or anything like that.
She
The only
got
thing we know
permission.
order-wise is a gag order for the boys, about Don talking about the boys. I believe that's the only gag order that we know
Yeah,
about.
and a lot of people think that gag order is like a blanket gag order, and it's not. It's just like any other legal proceeding. There are named people in it that it applies to. I've seen a lot of people in a lot of streams, well, we're not supposed to talk about it all. It doesn't mean us. We're not under a gag order. Whoever was named on that order is.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm going to move on to the next one. This one, I asked her, I said to her, I'm just pleased that you're out of the way at the moment. I'm pleased that you're where you are. I'm just concerned for Candace because I don't know what's going on with her. And she said, which I thought was a bit strange, I just know my daughter was not involved in the disappearance. So, I mean, I wasn't asking her if her daughter was involved in the disappearance. I was basically saying to her, I'm concerned for Candace. I mean, you can take that in many ways. Concern for her mental health, concern for her safety. But that's the answer I got to that. So, I mean, it's very obvious from the messages that she sent me that she really loves her daughter and she'd do anything for her, which is also why it shocked me that she went over to wherever she is now when everything was kicking off. So it had to be due to the stress and depression and flashbacks that she went. But she's saying that she knows her daughter was not involved.
Do you think that's odd that she kind of added that information? Because we see when a lot of people are talking, sometimes they add stuff. And I'm not saying she's vulnerable at all, but she knows that you were being very friendly, and your intentions were that the whole way through. By the way, there was no different of who kind of person you are. You were genuinely concerned about her and wanted to find out more. But it's just odd to me when people start adding in information when you're not asked the question. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel the same way about it. It's like she wanted to make sure she got that statement in
This was at
without
the beginning.
saying too much.
This was right away, right? She probably wanted to make sure to start it off knowing that Candace had nothing to do with it. Is this one of the first conversations you had with her, right?
Yeah.
So that
And
makes
the
sense
fact
to me.
that the two Candaces were together, so she could be involved, and she's trying to deflect it away from her as well by saying my daughter had nothing to do with it, so therefore I didn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah, that's a possibility too.
Or do you just stand by your daughter? You know what I mean? At what point do you have not to believe what she says? If in fact Granny doesn't know, I mean, Candace could know, and Candace could not know.
Right.
You know, she could be the one that's, you know, the fall person, or you know, she also got, you know, Don out of jail and out, you know, when she said she's scared for her life from him in a police report and things like that. That stuff just doesn't change overnight. Is there a give and take? Is there an IOU involved here? Is there something else that there was bad that was done in the past that he could be covering for her for, or vice versa? Who's pulling the short straw now? That's kind of what I want to know.
Yeah.
Yes.
This gets worse, and okay. So I said, and these are my opinions, guys. Okay, I said I just have this awful feeling that he might be involved. I know Candace loves those kids so much. The answer to that was, it's possible, but I can't prove it. So what is she insinuating here? Is she just agreeing with me, or does she actually believe that that's a possibility? She's adamant Candace is not involved.
Well, I think if she's like most of us, then she probably thinks it's definitely a possibility.
I think it's similar behavior to like the Alley interview and the things on that nature, where there's a vendetta or something involved, a hatred. I mean, we already know that through other conversation that you've had, that her and Don don't talk much, you know, and whatnot, unless you know, and she wouldn't get on the YouTube or whatever. But I don't think their relationship is very solid. I think they would take any chance. I think now that Jeannie has come out, and Jeannie, you know, justice for Jeannie, of course, prayers for Jeannie, and recovery in her mind and her body and everything, and Trish and her beautiful daughter for standing behind her. What an amazing person she is, and I hope she follows through. And I think that that opened up a kind of can of worms to where people are now, you know, willing to come out, and you know, not only about what happened with Don, but I think, you know, with Grandy and
How strong is Jeannie, guys, and her daughter Trish? Like, seriously, we have to all applaud how strong they've been. It broke my heart listening to their interviews with Tiffany Marie and Chris McDonough. Like, this, yeah. You know what really broke me down was when Jeannie was talking about putting the 7 layers of pants on. That to me was so clever, strategic, heartbreaking, and I had tears pouring down my face. I'm not 100% sure with Trish. I think she initially said it was her because her mum didn't feel comfortable. And then her mum come out and said that it was actually her and not Trish. That's the way I understood it. But the way Trish was there to support her mum and everything, it was just beautiful. And I know my daughters would be exactly the same. If my perpetrator died last year, and I can honestly say I was doing happy dances and had a little party, and it was the best day. But this guy used to try to get me to recruit for him at the age of 8 and 9 to bring kids over to play and that sort of stuff. So I know how their brains work, you know, and he totally knew it was wrong because of the threats that I would receive if I was to tell. But I used to tell all the time and it'd get me nowhere because my mother was just as bad. Yeah, I know, Miss Justice. And at one point, she actually joined in. And there's only one person in the world I have ever told that to, and that is my husband. So when people say, would Candace leave Don because all this has come out, it wouldn't surprise me if she didn't. You know, that because obviously it's a part of all their worlds, even Grandis's with her brother and everything else. Like, my mother was as demented as my stepfather. Yeah, I know. It just, and how I was able, like now I'm 56 and I look back, and I'm not making this about me, guys, and I'm sorry if it's coming across like that, but I'm just trying to articulate how I can see things in so many other ways, you know. It is about Summer, and I'm not forgetting that at all. But we do have to praise Jeannie and Trish and the other 6 women because it's important. Like, how the shares can say it's not important blows my mind, because it is important. It is relevant. Don't come at me with that shit because it just makes me so angry. But yeah, some women are, and you see it on the internet every day, how mothers are involved with their boyfriend's abuse of their own children, and they join in with hurting these little ones and all the rest of it. So it does happen, and some women, you know, for whatever their reasons, they just go along with it. It's well known that family members know and do nothing. Yeah. And like, because I was a stepdaughter, I thought it was just me because I was the eldest, but I have a little stepsister who was 6 years younger. So once I hit 12, it stopped. And I couldn't understand why, because I was 12, but I was so happy that it was, you know, it just stopped for whatever reason. But then I've said this on one other live, I got a nursing assistant position when I was in year 11, and I come home from work one day at lunchtime, and all there was in this rented home was a single bed, a kitchen table, a few cups and cutlery and things like that, and the rest of the house was empty. And they took off. Here I am just about to turn 17. Now, I must have just turned 17 because I did have a license and a vehicle. But yeah, there was nobody there. They'd left town. And I come to learn that they left town because my mother had just found out that he was doing exactly the same thing to my stepsister. So that was his own flesh and blood. So I'm not telling you guys just because I want sympathy or anything else. Like, that's not why I'm going down this road. But I just want to show how some women will not leave that perpetrator and they will stay with them to the end, which this woman did. My own biological mother stayed with this man till she passed away 4 or 5 years ago. And no, I didn't go to a funeral. That was enough for me. I was done. The older I got, the more and more I detested her and the whole situation. But yeah, God love you, Jeannie.
Other family members or people, they might start coming out now that they know that they're not alone, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's willing to do anything to throw Donald under the bus. Like, she wants him to take the fall for this whole thing so she can have some peace in her life, get him away from her daughter. I feel she's trying to be protective of her daughter because she feels Candace is in a very bad predicament being with Donald. Like, we've seen 5 women come forward with SA allegations against this man. And Jeannie started at 5 years old. And how courageous she was to come forward for this little girl, who she never met, but had this attachment to through what Donald did to her. So she's the hero in this book.
And not just for Summer. I mean, I've been watching very closely because, I'm the victim of a sexual assault too. And I have seen the chats and the people, getting the courage to tell their story and thank her, like she's inspired so many people to, I guess, get over that hump and the stigma that comes with being a victim of something like that. So she's
just for you being able to admit that and talk the way about that shows how much you have grown. And I praise you for you being able to turn around from what bad happened to you and then be a spokesperson and also be a voice.
Right.
And that's amazing. And I'm
glad I've never spoken about it publicly. And, this is my first time ever speaking about it. And it happened over 20 years ago.
Brought us all out?
She just needs to know that she has a lot of support and admiration for coming forward like that. And, I know I really appreciate her doing that for Summer and for all of the other survivors out there.
Absolutely.
Definitely. That's really nice. Okay, so we'll move on to the next one. She started telling me about Candace at this point. Where are we? She said, yes, she was always taking them fishing. Let me see if I can remove the comments. Don't know how to. I'm new at this. Guys.
Guys, it's thank you so much. Yeah, I was worried about that too, Hunt for Justice with the statute of limitations. And has she decided? Yeah, apparently she has. She's definitely pressing charges. Chris McDonough come out with a statement the other day that Jeannie has 100% decided to press charges. And good for her. Like, you have to make a stand at some point, don't you? I wanted to about 10 years ago. I actually felt like I could do that. And I wanted to do that and go forward with it. But at the time, like, I talked to my children about it, that this is what I wanted to do. And they were just starting to leave home. And because it is a small town, my children were worried about the retaliation from the step family. And because none of them had ever worked a day in their life and that sort of stuff, retaliation would mean that they could destroy our current lives, as in our businesses and things like that. So we decided as a family to not go forward with charges. Although I did speak to police officers and things like that, I didn't go ahead with charges, and that was out of respect for what my kids wanted to do, because they were just scared of what that side of the family could do. You know, they were out there, and you know, it wouldn't bother them to come and burn your house down and things like that. So, thank you, Hunt for Justice. Yeah, and you know, I don't think any of them would be ever hearing or seeing this, let's hope. But yeah, it's just, as you get older, I don't know whether it's confidence or, you know, you just feel a bit stronger that you can do that. Whereas when you're younger, I think you're just so wrapped up with raising your own children when they're little, and, you know, I had it behind this roller door and it didn't bother me. But then you think, no, he should be made accountable. People should know exactly what he is. Yeah, go Jeannie. Let's all, you know, this lady needs the support from here on in, and I think she's got it. Like Chris McDonough's doing so much for her, and yeah, it's just fabulous that so many people are behind her and her daughter and her family, and we will get her through it. Keep strong, Jeannie.
So she was saying, I always she used to take them fishing and swimming, and all he ever did was scream at the kids when they
That's another thing, guys. I don't understand this. Candace seemed to love to take these 4 kids to places of water. Okay, they went fishing, they went swimming. You've seen all the TikTok stuff, you've seen all the Facebook posts and photos of the waterways that Candace would take these kids to. But they've never had a swimming lesson in their life, and none of them knew how to swim. And Donald has even said, oh, I taught one of my boys how to swim on his back. Like, what the fuck? I'm sorry for the cuss word, but what the actual? Does he mean he taught him how to float on his back? Yeah, that video of the Ferris wheel. Talk about scare the shit out of your own kids. But why aren't the basic needs of children met, as in swimming lessons? Why wouldn't you teach your children water safety and how to save yourself if you're going to them sort of places with waterfalls and rocks? And, you know, I don't understand that whatsoever. With our grandkids, they all started swimming lessons at 4 months of age. And I'm not even exaggerating, 4 months. And I have photos, I can prove it. I'm not just saying that so, like, water's a big thing in Australia with kids, like, but obviously it was to the Wells as well, but they haven't taught them how to save themselves. And if not, that should have been wearing life vests. Yeah. Have you seen the ones where where Summer's climbing on them huge rocks underneath a waterfall? and the child can't swim. Like, really? I don't get that. It's like putting them on a racetrack without knowing how to steer virtually. There is light at the end of the dark tunnel. Absolutely. But, yeah, and she did slip, Miss Justice. Don said Summer couldn't swim. Yeah, I don't think any of them could swim. But I'm sure they would do swimming lessons once they reach school. Is that right? Do you guys in America have school-based swimming lessons, intensive swimming? Because we do that in Australia. I think it's 3rd grade. They do a 2-week intensive swimming thing with school. So during their school day, they go to the pool and do swimming lessons. And our local and all Australian local pools have government-funded swimming lessons that you don't have to pay for, and they're provided at the school at the at the swim centres at the beginning of every summer. So I don't know. Surely the older boys, but then I don't know, because Don said he taught him he taught his eldest son how to swim on his back. I don't get that. I'm sure he means he taught him how to float on his back, maybe. Because I know you can do backstroke, but why would you teach a child backstroke rather than freestyle? The waterfall video I saw looks like the one that is just a few miles from me. Oh, really? So you come from that area. It is also dangerous, even though it is a big thing to do in summertime. We had several drownings. Yeah, it's like their basic needs have never been addressed. And like, it's great to see that they went places with their kids and did things and stuff like that, but surely you would teach them how. I am not far from Hawkins County. Oh, wow. So you know the area pretty well. I can't wait till we can get out of Australia, because, guys, I'm coming over there. I want to come over and see all these places for myself. But we can't leave Australia at the moment unless it's for work or the Olympics. I don't understand that either, guys. Anyway, we'll get back on subject.
So that just gives us a little bit more insight.
Sounds controlling. Sounds controlling to me, right?
Yeah, I definitely don't think that. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. It definitely brings up the point where Chris McDonough was saying that he goes from 0 to 60 with his anger issues.
Yes.
Like, he definitely has an anger management problem.
Right, and that's apparent in the way he's constantly talking himself up like he's, father of the year. I mean,
We noticed that today in his we noticed that in his behavior today in that community post we saw from that other channel where Don Wells released this morning saying, if Summer was here, she would hate you. How could any 5-year-old hate anything?
How
Especially
sad
a
is that?
godlike person like Don's supposed to be, preaching the Bible, pushing Bible verses. How could you even talk about hate in your heart like that? You should talk about praying for that person, like you came back about Chris when Chris was like, yes, I'm a sinner. I admit it, I'm a sinner. And so
He can't help himself, can he?
So he's my favorite.
We know, Doug.
We've seen the true Don come out through every interview, and the only interviews he says he's going to do that's on camera is through that other channel, which that shuts out the news interviews, that shuts out the police interviews, that shuts. What exactly does he mean by that? That's just my.
He
question.
sure does hunt
Sorry.
for justice.
I've just been, sorry, Doug, I've just been asked to update everybody on who's here. So there's obviously me. Below me, we've got Chasing Justice. And to the right, there is Amzi Beloved at the bottom in the middle.
You can stay at my house, Miss Justice.
On the lower right-hand side.
We have doors on our bathroom.
Channel on the top right. And of course, we've got Doug from No Thanks. Top middle, there he is.
And you guys are on Hollywood Squares. Welcome.
So, Doug, can you elaborate on that post? I didn't see that. You said Don had posted something about Summer was hating you?
Yeah, I didn't say this. Did you guys say this?
Wow.
Another channel.
He needs to stop with his social media. He's just.
I'll
And he's got himself a little makeup.
I've got Don Wells as a
on his
friend
shirt.
too, but I didn't go
One
and have a
thing
look.
these questions have made apparent to me is that even though they kind of might imply one another, even separating, like usually it's a tactic that cops can use, the whole separate and then, get their different stories. Eventually the stories will change. Someone will mess up. Someone will implicate someone else, but that hasn't happened here. All of their stories are still covering for one another if this is a cover up, which I find a little telling.
It starts off with you guys. Y'all are cruel AF.
Oh, really?
8:42 a.m.
Excuse me.
Pay attention. No, not your fault that someone stole our daughter. And then all these idiots circle like vultures, trying everything to railroad me and hurt us any way possible. None of them actually gave a damn about Summer.
Really?
Only their own agenda. Pretty sad to say the least. They took the spotlight off her and put it all on themselves while running my name and stomping me in the face. I wish Summer could see what they're doing to someone she loves with all her heart. She would hate them all.
Oh my God.
It's bad enough.
You guys, did you see that? I don't know how I missed that when I watched this there last night. See how it's pity party Don again? You're kidding me. Oh, seriously, I want to slap his face right now. So he's saying Summer would hate everybody for picking on him. Is that the way you guys just heard that? Oh, dear Lord. This just gets better and better, doesn't it? What a psychopath, narcissist, dangerous. I'm not even going to call him a human being right now because that's not human. Wow. Why can't he just say, I don't give a damn about what you think of me? Just find my daughter. Exactly. It's as simple as that. Hunt for justice. Yeah. Shoot me now, guys, but that's the way it sounds to me. He really needs he needs to be institutionalized big time. I'm sorry, but this is just so bad. I'm very sure Summer would be praising everybody right now for all the love and awareness everyone's trying to bring to the reality of the situation. The reality is he is a monster, regardless of what the situation, because even if he had nothing to do with Summer's being hurt or anything like that, the way this guy has dictated and tried to manage everybody, from his horrible little Facebook posts to now, I don't even know what the word is, working with whatever his story is with the shares. all of that has been taken off Summer because it's all about Donald. Like, this is a father that thinks her favorite food is chips and candy, for God's sake. Oh, it's just making me so angry today, guys. I'm sorry.
Whatever she's going through, how evil.
Wow.
But what
Is
Dom
it evil
doesn't
to
realize,
ignore it? Is it evil to ignore what could have possibly been going on too?
How evil is it that you're not out searching for your daughter?
Exactly.
They
right?
don't
You
even
know, I
know the
remember nights that AB and Tiffany and I, you know, and we were on a stream listening to the scanner all night. I think I had like 3 hours of sleep that night. And I was on call, so I had to
Do
go
you
out
guys-
to scenes on my own.
Do you guys listen to the scanner? I put it on some nights when I just can't drift off to sleep, and I put on the Hawkins County scanner because in Australia with the apps, they work exactly the same as in America, and we can listen to the live scanners. And we can't listen to Australian scanners anymore because they've encoded them some way so the public can't get in there and listen. But it's quite interesting. All the times I've sat and listened to the scanners, I've never heard them come up with anything close to where the Wellses are or anything, yet Donald says that they're there all the time. Like, the police are out there and there's druggies and there's this and that that's always, you know, around that property. But I had never heard the police out there. In jails, they don't like child. No, they don't, Miss Justice. That's what I'm saying. He's going to calm. I honestly 1000% believe in karma. And this guy's karma is going to be huge because it will come back and bite him on the ass. It's going to. Double drops the soap. Oh, you guys. Oh, yeah, karma's coming for him. We all know that.
And I still came back and jumped right on because that's when we really thought that they might find her that weekend right after she went missing. So if he knew all of the things and the sleepless nights and the tears we've all shed for his child,
Yeah, that's
you know,
what I'm
he
trying
might
to say.
feel a little differently before he just calls us all haters and money grabbing. You know, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
As a father, I'd have been the Liam Neeson everybody saw and taken. Like, I don't know who you are and I don't know what you want. If you're looking for ransom, I have no money.
So Donnie, you don't think that he wrote that? Who was that on? Voices channel, or what channel was that on?
That was on Voices channel. That was released this
Yeah.
morning. That was the
His
first thing I
PR
woke up
team.
to.
Exactly,
Okay,
Kim.
so maybe he.
I think it's the voices behind the spec.
It's the Save Donnie show.
No.
So,
Sorry.
let's just move on.
I'm a shinner.
So the next question was,
Doug.
I said, do you think he was not at work fully on the day Summer disappeared? Well, on that day, do you think he was not at work fully that day? I don't think he was. So
That's a big one right there.
theory. Yeah.
That was my thing too.
Time frame.
Because when
Yeah.
I
Over the last few weeks, my big thing was, okay, so 3 boys, and I know other people have said it too, but realistically, there's 3 boys at home from, say, 8 a.m. in the morning until whenever, because we don't know exactly what time they got home. There's no confirmation or proof of when Candace, Grandis, and Summer come home. We don't know that. Okay, so from 8 a.m., let's just say it's 3:30 in the afternoon. If someone was going to snatch a child, there's 3 kids there all day long, and you can't tell me they sat inside that house all day long. They would have been outside at some point, surely to God. But whoever took Summer waited until someone was home and then snatched her. That's just not real. The probability of that is highly unlikely. And another thing with Donald's comments the other day about no one would do that around here because that would be like committing suicide. So he's saying no one around here would do that. So what are the probabilities of someone from out of the area being there to do that? It just doesn't make sense. Nothing he says is logical or realistic. But then he'll throw his hands up in the air and say, it's not likely that she was hurt at the house and that Candace and Grandis have lied to him. He'll put a stop to that straight off. It really is that they can't save that admitted pedo. Yeah, but even that, Kim, he's admitted doing it and then tried to justify it and throw everyone else, like he's tried to throw Jeannie under the bus, that it was her fault. She initiated it. She was 5. The Davies. Thanks for sticking around in here, you guys. I love you all. Not once in 10 weeks has Don or any one of them asked to find Summer. It's all me. We've done justice, love being truth for Summer, Jeannie, and all the other victims have done well. Yeah, totally agree. They can't say. Don only cares for Don. Absolutely. He loves to talk about himself, doesn't he? Poor little pedal. But I don't know what you guys think, but the media interview that him and Candace did with Ainsley, he didn't have Candace's back. And, you know, he's even degrading Candace quite a bit with his comments about Summer wouldn't go to Candace when she was first born until she was 18 months old. Like, who says that? Wonder if the door's locked from outside. Yeah. Well, did you notice, Miss Justice, with the, you know, when Chris went to the house with Candace and stuff, did you notice when they'd gone downstairs to the basement and they walked out the door to go outside from the basement, Chris had sort of walked over and asked what that generator thing was or something, and then Candace stops and says, oh, I better lock that door. And she made a point of saying, I better lock that door. I found that interesting as well. But she opened the door and pressed the button from the inside and then shut the door. Did she have it with a key? Because I thought she reopened the door and pressed something from inside the door and then closed it. We'll have to have a look at that. No, you could be right. It could be just the way I thought it looked. With a key. Okay. No justification for what he did to her. No, there's not. But he seems to think there is. No, I could be wrong, Hunt for Justice. Don't worry. I could very well have got it wrong. And look, guys, if I'm wrong about anything I'm saying, please don't hesitate to say, because I'm open to owning things I get wrong. Like, I'm not up here trying to pretend I know boats and, I've got any clue. I'm just purely trying to talk about what's going on, and it's not I'm right, you're wrong type situation. I'm happy to be told I'm wrong. He does always throw Candace under the bus. Like, yeah, I don't find that very flattering either of his character at all. Nothing about the man I find flattering.
She'd seen him that day. She said,
Like, guys, I know, I can't stop. Have you noticed his the way he's changed his appearance a little? It's like he's trying to look a little bit more presentable, if you will. And he's had the big shave and done the hair and looks a little bit spiffier than he did. Not that he does look spiffier, I'm not saying that, but it looks like he's trying to look better in his appearance. I don't want to say something that isn't true. No, I don't either. That's why I'm saying I'm happy to, that someone else seen something differently. That's fine. I've probably got it wrong because, that's just the way we all see things wrong sometimes, and I'm happy to say I might have got it wrong.
So what makes her think that he wasn't then, I wonder?
Exactly. And I don't know.
One thing I will say is
suspicious behavior.
My stepdad was a contractor where he did kind of very much the same work as Dawn, and he was the boss. And so when he was on a job, air quotes, it meant that his team was there, and he would kind of come and go, and he could swing by.
And guys, just while she's saying this, my husband is a drywaller as well, and my son, and we have a family business, and our boys come and go on jobs as they please. They are contractors, so they do not have to sign in with anybody. We give invoices for the amount of hours and different job, each house has a different set of things that are done and that sort of thing. So some people get paid by amount of hours, some get paid by the different services that they provide, and that's between the contractor and the owner, and that's an agreed way of payment on how they're paid. But Don wouldn't be on, I would assume, that he's not on a clock in, clock out type thing, as in he's just getting a wage. I would say he's on a house lot price. He would get paid as a subcontractor, not as an employee where he clocks on, clocks off. He would be probably giving his bosses invoices for what he's done. So he would be coming and going like any other subcontractor can. They don't get like a set amount of time for lunch. They can, drive off, do what they want to do when they want to do, and they're not answering to anyone else. That's just my opinion on that.
By the house, and my step was very much like Dawn, very controlling of my mom. So he would swing by the house just to check in on her unannounced. And he had that personality, so maybe he did things like that, which would make her believe that he wasn't always at work regularly.
What bad word? I didn't even say your bad word.
And I mean, there could have been a pattern where, before all of that, where he would come home early all the time. It's just, we don't know what really happened before this day. And they're not answering any questions. It's just, I've never seen a missing child case, even when the parents were involved. And it was like, pretty much proven, they still put on more of a show trying to be innocent than he is doing. You know, I mean, you can't, it's like pulling teeth getting answers out of him.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Terry Lynn. Thank you.
It's a repetitive story we're getting. She liked to twirl in my hand.
I know, that does my head in too.
You know, I don't even know. I don't have
Guys, I know you've all heard the same things, but he does say the same repetitive stories over and over again like a script. What was her favorite food? Chips and candy. What's the last thing you remember about summer? Oh, she wanted to twirl. Hold my hand, Daddy, so I can twirl. Like, there's no different memories of anything. It's just the same stuff. I know she does. Did you see the photos the other day at the last prayer vigil when she was with Robin and Timmy and the other pastor guy? She didn't look like the last few prayer vigils I've seen. You know, she didn't look that bad. She still looked boyish, but the other day she did not look like she give two shits about anything. The photos where she's in the black singlet top and stuff, she just looked like she didn't care about anything in the world. Like, obviously she cared that she had to be at the prayer vigil, but she's starting to get that despondent look in her eyes where there's just nothing happening, like she's removed from the situation. That's just the way I see her lately when you do get the odd photo.
I don't even, it's, I just like to tell you about the Bible, and then it's just like, it's off of summer, on to another subject about him, how he's defending himself. It seems like he's been building up a defense up to the point this stuff with Jeannie came out. It seems like he's been using Chris and all the other channels as a pawn, and now he's to a comfortable channel where, they've got his back, even knowing they're supposed SA victims, right? And like, how could you have some SO, on your channel and you feel comfortable with it when you're a victim, you've been a victim yourself, like, and this person has no remorse, no regret, not anything. His answer was like, it was 40 years ago. That don't make it right.
And that's like a cardboard cutout, a very typical answer. It was the past. It was the past. Well, that's okay. It was the past, but now we're talking about this, and stuff's not adding up. And now he's got this whole little...
Cher's getting death threats. She's going to police as per someone on AB channel. Wow. Sorry, I've got a frog in my throat. Yeah, but you just don't know whether that's for real. Like, is she showing receipts of the death threats? I feel like Mrs. Cher's getting to a point where she's starting to play Miss Victim as well. Because the tune has changed over the last couple of days. Like, she's still defending Don and stuff. I just have a feeling maybe Don and Candace aren't being as open to them, maybe, the last couple of days. Although she will say that, she talks to them all day long, every day. I don't know. That's crazy, isn't it? That someone could go to that extreme to give death threats. Like, if it is true, that is so messed up. Yeah, she does look, as in Candace does look checked out. she just doesn't look like psychologically like she's with it at all.
Team feeding him what to say with all their knowledge of the criminal justice system.
What do detectives do? Okay, do they go into somebody's house, have a cup of tea, make friends with them, and think, "Oh yeah, your story sounds great. Okay, I'm going to stick up for you." No, they don't. They listen to every story. I'm not saying I believe one side or the other, but I'm listening to it all. In my mind, I have an idea what went on, but I'm not going to say that. But you couldn't be a detective like that. You couldn't do that. You couldn't just befriend someone and then you couldn't do that. Am I crazy?
No.
I think this is
that's not how it's done.
I think this is all important information to turn over to the police, actually.
Me either, Kim.
As well, all these messages.
I just like to know what's going on
sometimes.
sometimes.
This may be helpful. I think that anything that finds Summer, you can't worry about people's feelings at this point. I think we need to turn everything over that you do have.
Just letting you know, everything has been turned over to CBI, and I've spoken to the lead.
Exactly, that's the word I was looking for, Miss Justice.
This is the lady that we're talking about. I am not making this up. I've already shown a video right at the beginning. If you missed it, it was to show me clicking on Candace's Facebook page, which led me to her friends list. Clicked on her friends list page, clicked on her mum, took me straight to Messenger where all the messages were.
I agree, Kim.
Donald is trying to create a narrative that they are friends with the police because he made a statement that the police brought Candace a bottle. I don't think so. I worked with the police
I don't believe
years.
that either.
I don't see any police officer detective doing something like that to jeopardize
Same as me, Miss Justice.
I don't know what his motive is in portraying that
Did you
he's
go and
friends
check it,
with
Hunt
the
for Justice?
detectives and the police.
You didn't have to do that. I was wrong. She did lock it from the inside. I apologize. Don't apologize. It's totally fine. Like, we all watch so many things, don't we, with this case, and we want to get as much information. Like, we're totally thirsty for everything that comes out, and it's so easy to think we've seen something one way and it's actually a different way. So don't apologize at all. Not at all. But yeah, I find if that is what she did and she locked it from the inside, and that door was locked from the inside when Summer supposedly went down to the basement, you're not going to get in from the outside. Yeah, thanks for letting us know. But yeah. So it would be different, I think. I don't know if it is lockable from the outside with a key. I don't know that, but yeah, if it was locked from the inside and she doesn't know whether it was locked on the day or not, but if it was, someone couldn't sneak in there and take her away. Someone would have had to have opened that door. But I don't believe that's what's happened anyway. I just hear enough from other channels that replay the shares and views, so I don't have to give them any views. Oh, that's yeah. And then she gets cranky and apparently has started striking people. But she tells you on her channel that she doesn't strike anybody. At Kim, you mean Jackson Pierce. And she only locked the bottom from the outside. Right. I'm with you. It's all so much.
That he's a good Christian and that we're all evil.
Well, can I say something real quick? Can I address something that's in the chat? There's someone, that keeps saying, show your faces. We don't have to show our faces. If you want to know what I look like, I can tell you I look pretty much like that cartoon character, except I'm hot and sweaty right now. I have children and a family, and I'm not going to show my face because of the line of work I'm in and the can of worms I'm opening up. So I'm sorry if you're not getting a good idea or what you think we should be doing, but it's for our own protection and it's a personal choice. So please stop repeating that you want us to show our faces.
Yeah.
Same thing. This is middle of the day for me in the West Coast, and I got to.
Guys, I will show my face, but I want to get my hair done first because it is seriously so messed up right now because we've been in lockdown and yeah, I have got to get it done, and I promise you I will then use my cam and show you around my little studio. It's actually a sewing studio because I do lots of patchwork and quilting, and I have to show you guys the quilt I'm making for summer, and it's super cute with lots of Paw Patrol things and little photos of summer I've printed on fabric and stuff. Yeah, that's just another thing I like to do. I actually sew while I have YouTube going, so I can mix the love of both things. But yeah, I will show you the little quilt, and I'm going to do one for the Awesome Boys as well. But our fabric shops are shut right now, although I used to have a patchwork shop and I still have all the fabric from my shop. But you need this special printable fabric that you can put through your printer to print the photos on. And I can't get it at the moment. I've tried to get it online, but it's hard to get. So as soon as I get some more of that, I'm going to do one for the Oran and Orson West and for little Cash and hang them up behind where I sit to do these little lives. Hi, Rick Hinkle. Welcome. Yeah, it's very therapeutic for me when I get a little bit emotional sometimes. The sewing is definitely good therapy for me. So, yeah.
Little ones, which are a big reason why I'm involved in this. They're 4 or 5, and when they carry around their little Paw Patrol animals, I can't help but think of Summer. I just keep thinking of the Paw Patrol coming to rescue her and her just wanting that. And I will do whatever. I will share this until she's found this story, no matter what I can, what it is I'm sharing. The littlest things.
Oh. Right, so let's move on to the next question. So I asked her, do you think, I've already asked that one about was he at work all that day? So then I said, was he driving the Subaru? I think we know the answer to this question. She said yes, he was driving the Subaru that day. And I said, it seems to be a bit all over the place, this, but we kind of went on to something else then. And I said, he just seems to be incriminating himself. Oh, we're going back to the car. Sorry, I'm a bit all over the place.
That's Indian giving.
He bought the car for Candace, and he decided to use it that day.
We've been all over the car this afternoon, haven't we, guys?
Just it off my bit of paper. My 16,000 sheets of paper, Doug.
Well, that Facebook post of Candace where she says, "Oh, look, I got a new car. Thanks to my honey. I love him so much."
Yeah.
Did she do it? Did she do a follow-up Facebook post? Say, "Thanks for the old truck, honey. I hope you enjoy my new car."
Thanks for poo in the car you bought me.
Yeah.
You know, he's complaining about, why wouldn't I drive the car? It has the $600 car payment. Well, then why would you drive that car dirty from the kind of work you do?
Generosity with a price tag right there. Control.
I need a shiny red car so everyone can see me. That's what it came down to.
Guys, I've told this little story before, but I'm going to say it again. As you know, my husband is a drywaller. About 4 years ago, he upgraded his work utility to the new model Nissan Navara. And he loved his Navara so much that he refused to put work tools or materials in it whatsoever. So he went and bought a bomb utility to use as a work vehicle because he's a car perv and he didn't want his Navara getting dirty. And he has never taken my Pathfinder to work ever. So, you know, drywall is white dust. It gets over everything. And I do not understand for the life of me why he would even want to take the Subaru to work. You know, it's bizarre to me. Yeah. So you're from Kingsport, Rick. So you're pretty close by too. Welcome, everyone. The new people coming in. I don't go big on the, you know, if you want to give a thumbs up, that's totally up to you. And I really do appreciate it. I'm really excited to try and get to 1,000 subs, and not so I can be monetized, but because I want to be able to stream off my phone. So if you'd like to subscribe, I would really appreciate it, just so I couldn't live stream from my mobile and not be locked into this desk and laptop. That would be awesome too. So, and if you want to share, it's appreciated. And yeah, thank you so much. We've got 23 in here. That's big for me, you guys. Thank you so much for coming in and having a chat with us.
He's a sociopath. He's a narcissistic, mentally vindictive, deranged lunatic. I'm sorry I even got that out.
Doug's got that right, though, guys, hasn't
like
he?
I've said it before, maybe. But
Thanks, Miss Justice.
yeah, I know, right? I kicked myself out of here.
He's so awesome, Dougie.
But do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to delete.
But I never used to like him, and he knows that. We've come a long way.
The next question I said to her was, can you get Candace to come and live with you where you are now, where it's safe, and then maybe she can get the kids back, you know?
I wonder why, like, grandma didn't take the boys, you know? I mean, unless it was just health issues or something. I know here that they typically try to place children with a family member.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always just been curious about that.
I did think that, but I don't know what family members they've got in that area. Maybe they look for people within a
Really,
area
Rick?
because of the visits. You know,
Right.
they're going to have visits.
Well,
I think there was a
sorry, I just have to talk about this for a second. Here in the area, people are so holding Don and Candace guilty for summer. I think the prayer vigils say a lot, Rick. You know, like if you look at the very first prayer vigil, there was a few people there. But the fourth one, they did online because it's getting a bit sketchy. And the one they did the other day, like seriously, this is a prayer vigil for little Summer. That side of it, I don't understand that. What do people think of the prayer vigils, Rick? Do you know that? Like, if they're thinking Don and Candace are guilty, are they not going because of that? Because you would think some people would still go just for Summer. I've been thinking about that quite a bit lately too. You know, like it's telling that people aren't going, to me, but yeah, I'd be really curious to know what the locals think in the area. But to me, that says it all, that no one's going to the prayer vigils. and Robin's still there, Timmy's still there, and the guy with the beard and stuff, is he the actual pastor? Or is he just a church member that goes along to pray? I don't get that. But yeah, to me, that's weird that already ascribed. Oh, thank you, Kim. Yeah, they might be disgusted with Don and Candace and just don't want to go. Like, you would think your presence there would come across that you're supporting Don and Candace, where, yeah, it's telling, isn't it? No matter which way you look at it, people are just not attending the prayer vigils, and that has to logically be the reason why. Parents that truly have their kids taken away, they never ever give up hope, ever. I saw Don at Walmart and Don walking around like he's a rock star. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to say before, but it didn't come out properly about the way he's doing his hair and shaved his face and all that sort of stuff. He's loving every tiny bit of attention. Yeah, absolutely. I believe that, Rick. He does think he's a big celebrity now with his Mr. and Mrs. Share. But realistically, guys, they've never ever put up posters, as we all know. They've never physically gone searching. Like, if I lived on that hill and there was all that bush around, I would be out there all day, every day, just looking, just going through the bush, no matter whether there's bears or snakes or whatever. I would still be there doing that. And I don't think they've ever done it at all. And that's creepy to me. Absolutely a fake.
Strategic reason why they took the boys and not put them with family, because I think they're trying to
My
really
foot
question
is just
these
as hot
boys, and
stuff.
hopefully one of them is going to
Hell
tell
no.
something. Whereas if they were together, they might huddle together and make a pact that we're not going to say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. You know, in a situation like this, they probably don't want the boys anywhere where they could be coached or, you know, manipulated into saying certain things. And honestly, if the boys are in a place where they're happy, healthy, thriving, you know, starting the new school year and getting away from all of this that's going on, they really don't need this stress.
No.
Yeah, I mean, what I found interesting was when you listen to Don say why the kids had gone. He said the kids were taken, but because of the situation and what's going on right now with all the media, it's probably for the best. But didn't really go into the real reasons, because I don't think Children's Services took them away because the media was interested in what was going on. Do you?
Not at all.
No.
Not at
No,
all.
I think they were
And
possibly
you know what?
removed.
They just, the state just doesn't take them either and just waste money and tax. I mean, they'll actually charge the parents if they have to take them into custody for safety reasons. They would actually probably get a bill.
Yeah. Well, didn't what do they call
Same
Terrell
thing in Trezell and
Yes,
Jacqueline
that's
and
what I was
in
going to
the
say. They
Oregon North and
immediately
West
took theirs
classifications
as
here.
well.
they were
Yeah,
going to court, weren't they?
Because
they were being charged. Yeah.
and I think it's a matter of, you know, DCSF or CPS not wanting to have any more children missing, because obviously those families have lost one.
What about liability at this point?
Exactly.
For them
So
not
they've
doing their
already lost
jobs right in
one.
the first place.
Let's take the others to prevent them losing these ones.
Guys, how do I put slow mode on?
You have to do
And
it through
if
YouTube
it's
Creator
true that
Studio.
Yeah, you got to go in the studio and then click on the video, like if you're gonna fix the tags and all that.
Take a bit of
it's a little-
doing. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know how to slow it down unless I go right into my YouTube studio, which could take me some
He
time.
must have got
If
somewhere
you
around
put
like
your
9,500 in a stimulus check for those.
Okay.
If everyone puts their finger on the chat on their own phone or whatever they're watching on, it'll slow it down. I have to
Thank
do it all the
you.
time.
Oh, you mean like, I see what you're saying.
Wait, can I ask, where are the boys right now? Do you guys know?
I did ask a little bit about the boys at some point. So I'd asked her if Candace could come and stay with her, and she said no, because she wouldn't get to see the boys. Where are we? Next one.
I've been following Candace every week at the prayer circles, and I've been doing
Yes.
that for a reason, and Dawn as well. And then to see the progression of their faces and them just feel like they have to be there. Don actually said he was at the second one where I saw the news and everybody there. And he didn't want to be on camera unless it was voices behind or whatever. And so he didn't, and he said he was there and he just didn't show his face or show on camera, which means he was there, but he wasn't all there. He was in the car watching something on his phone, maybe YouTube, maybe doing a live stream.
He's probably watching this right now. Hi, Dawn.
Oh, I'm sure. Hi.
Dawn, you're in big trouble, pals.
There'll be a round table
And I
meeting
don't
about
think
it.
Voices Behind the Wall is, they're running his narrative, but, if say, for instance, if he wanted to interview with anyone else, it would be better, in my opinion, to get, if he wanted to be taken more seriously, because coming on any of our platforms would show more. It seems more narrative driven when he stays on the same
It's
platform.
not just
And
them
we have
that's
to
driving
understand
the
that.
narrative. It's his team that he's got behind him now. Now he's
Yep.
got his Johnny Cochran
Yes.
squad.
Yep.
Oh, I can't even watch those live streams.
Only
So
bar
I-
they pass sells shots.
They're also heavily edited, so he won't say anything that they don't want him to, if you notice that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Very heavily edited.
You know when you feel like somebody's got their hand up their backside?
Yes.
Like that. So I said to her, I'm not sure what you think about him being
Hi,
on
Ashley.
YouTube constantly. And she said, oh, I know. He's between Facebook and podcasts. I said to her, why is he not searching? Why is he not searching for summer? She said, where are we? Thanks. He needs to get off here and do something. Even if it's wrong. Now, I don't understand this. Read this to me and make sense of it. I just need to stay strong for my grandbabies.
Rick, they definitely should have.
Ask her about him.
I think what she's saying is, he needs to quit worrying about social media and get out there and look, even though law enforcement has said, we don't want anyone out searching. And I understand why they don't want family and stuff like that out searching.
What does
There's
she
a
mean
couple of
by?
reasons.
What does she mean by thanks need to get off here to do something, even if it's wrong? What is she gonna do?
Oh, gosh, I have to
I stay strong
Yeah,
for my
and
kid.
Please don't make me laugh right now. My toilet is like 100 yards from my studio, and I don't want to laugh too much. Forrest Gump, that is gold. He really is, isn't he? With the way he talks, he sounds like Forrest Gump. Definitely, Rick, but they had been there and never took the kids. Nope. And they'd been there a lot from different people I've heard. If you remember Miss Leslie, she seemed to think that CPS were there a few times and Candace just hid and pretended they weren't home, etc. So can someone tell me who's on the panel now? It's Emma from Crime Stories Obsessed, Doug from No Thanks Investigates, Zav Girl, and there's another two. We'll have to have a look. I'm pretty sure there's 5 of them all together on the panel, but they've got the screenshot up, so I can't see the names now.
And babies in my kids. and my kids. You know, that's how I had a hard time reading Don's post as well, because there was no punctuation and there was misspellings. But you can put this together that she's telling you something here that she wants you to know. Even
Yeah,
if it's
you're not
wrong,
going to
she's
look
doing
for
it.
something
I
that
don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Maybe
you know
speak
isn't
up,
missing.
you know, tell the truth about some things. If he has nothing to do with it, but he's hiding anything, like just lying about minor things because he's afraid he's going to get in trouble because he had a bag of weed, or, you know, he has a gun and he's, you know, just little things like that. If he's just honest, which I don't think he's honest about much, and I don't know, it's just, the whole thing is weird. It's hard to make sense of any of it. And
I said to her, when you said his mouth and his actions would get him put where he belongs, what did you mean by his actions?
They've got
She
this
said, just in the way
green
he
shot
thinks
over the
women
top, so
don't
you
know
can't
anything.
exactly see
He's just
all the
always
names.
putting Candace down.
yeah, I realized that about that whole marriage relationship. Like, to me, she seems like she's a very mentally abused woman, and it's a pattern for her. Like,
Guys, another thing is, this is a dude that is asked in interviews when him and Candace were married. The guy has no clue. Like, that's how much respect he has for his wedding day. Is he on it? Well, I wouldn't say honestly, but he can't tell you when they were married. I can tell you right now, if my husband didn't know our wedding date, we would have a problem right there. But that was strange to me as well. I went to my doctor yesterday. He asked me what was wrong, and I said, John Wells made me sick. Oh my God. I said, don't make me laugh, guys. Rick, that's gold. Oh, we have to have a laugh every now and again, guys. We really do, because my head hurts. Good morning, Griff. It's 2 p.m. Sunday afternoon in Australia. We're trying to not let Sharon laugh, guys, because we might have an accident here. Blame it on Saturn. Oh, Saturn. We will never, ever hear Satan's name again without thinking of Saturn, will we, guys? We're all bonded over this. And I hope we don't all lose contact. Like, I love being able to come in here and chat with you guys. But no more laughing. Let's not be funny right now. 6 a.m. Yeah, this is my biggest problem, is trying to know when to come live. It's really tricky to try and get it so you know when people are awake or not. Because sometimes I like to go live when it's nighttime here in Australia, but you know there's nobody around. And you'd just be sitting here talking to yourself. I don't want that, Don Wells. Yeah. But thank you all for coming in. I really do appreciate it. Like, it makes it so worth it to see you guys come in and just say hi and stuff. So thank you again.
like her first husband or boyfriend or whatever, you know, he was a lot older. It's a pattern for her.
Yeah. Some women do that, don't they? They look for like that father figure. If they've not had a father figure, or
I think it just became comfortable for her, and it was doable. You know what I mean? And
now
we don't
she's
know
stuck.
if they're even celibate to each other. You know what I mean? Like, who knows?
Yeah, well, the thing is, she's not.
Or monogamous, I'm sorry.
She doesn't seem to be working. You know, she doesn't have anywhere to live.
You just
He
get
made it
comfortable.
that she's totally dependent upon him. And from the start of this case, he said that he was going to be the spokesperson for the family. He took control from the beginning.
Absolutely.
Like, he's the man of the house. I control everything. And you're just the woman who's supposed to. He thinks this way. Like, you're supposed to be barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen. I mean, that, honest to God, I believe that's how he thinks.
But guys, I don't feel, I know everyone has this perception that Candace is an abused woman and all the rest of it. I don't think she is as vulnerable as everyone seems to think. I think she doesn't take much shit from anybody. And if you've listened to Don talk about when she drinks, he has to babysit her and look out in the morning when she wakes up and things like that. It's not like she's some meek, mild little mouse. Like, I think she gives what she takes, and I don't think that's just the way I see her. You know, 100%, I could be wrong. She could be that victim, but I don't think she would take much crap off Don. If anything, I think she would be the one who gets quite verbal and aggressive when she's drunk. But we don't know. And like, if you think about Chris McDonough's interview, the second phone call when Donald's rang Chris and she's, you know, yelling and screaming in the background and carrying on, you know, she's not little mum patrol that she tries to make out she is. I'm sorry, but that's just the way I feel. I think she could be quite dangerous, and hopefully the truth's going to come into light very soon. Yeah, well, I think it's got something to do with the candy too, Rick. I was just saying that before, that in the whole big picture, I think the candy has got something to do with it. Like, I've watched Web Sleuths and Chris, and as we do, we watch everything in Channel Hop. And for such a trivial little comment to keep coming out about the candy, and they talk about their leaking truths, I honestly do feel the candy has got something to do with it. What that is, I have no clue, but I honestly do feel that. Oh, you're off to bed, Hunt for Justice. Thanks again for coming in. It was really great to have your comments and everything, even though you were trying to make me laugh. So Candace trying to throw Mum under the bus. Yeah. I think either of them are going to throw anyone under the bus to make themselves look better. And you know, another thing I was thinking of last night, guys, was remember when Don said that Hawkins County, I'm sure it was Hawkins County, correct me if I'm wrong, but they wanted Candace to do another lie detector test, and Don told her it wasn't a good idea. Why would they want to do another one? And why would you refuse to do another one? That's a curious thing as well I was thinking about. DV victims do not dare lift their heads, much less yell along and curse with their abuser at someone else. Exactly, that's what I'm trying to say. She would be compliant. She wouldn't be yelling and screaming and carrying on like a pickle in the background if she was all timid and scared. Like, yeah, I don't agree with it. But anyway, I know this may not be a good thing to do, but I messaged Grandis last week. I asked her if she was okay and was just trying to make sure. Hang on, I lost the comment. Sure, it wasn't her. That screenshot was floating around on House Summer. So did she answer you, Ashley? That's interesting, isn't it? So did you message her through Facebook? The same as Emma did from Crime Stories Obsessed. You know, the interesting thing may have passed. She was really nice and said she was fine, but was worried about her daughter. No mention of Summer. Yeah. Wow. That's really interesting that she answered you as well. So I wonder what the shares think about that, Ashley. They would only say you're lying as well. She didn't say too much, but she didn't say, I'm worried about Summer. How sad is that? That is so sad that she didn't even mention her own granddaughter. Well, you should show that to Mrs. Share. Ashley. But she would only say it was fake as well. I bet you any money. Oh, dear Lord. Isn't it sad that she doesn't mention her own granddaughter? It really is unbelievable, guys. I've never tried to message. Like, I have Don as a friend on Facebook. But I've never messaged anybody because I didn't want AB to get cranky, because you know how if you're in AB's Facebook pages, you're not allowed to go real life and stuff. So I've never tried to message them. I've messaged AB so many times and he never replies, but I might not be sending them to the right place. I'm not sure. If you email me the screenshots, I'm happy to go to Mrs. Share with them for you if that's what you want to do. Or I'm happy to put them up here. We can put them up here on the channel tomorrow if you want to email them to me. And obviously, that's up to you if you want to do that. But yeah, I'm 100% happy to do that. And not for clout or clicks or views or anything like that, just so you know. But to prove that Grandis does actually reply to people and that it's not all fake. I would not stir the pot with the shares. So, Ashley, were you just in AB's live? Have they struck his channel? My email, I'll just pop it in the comments for you. It's on my About page. I'll just pop it in here so you can send it to there. You don't think we should? I'm not scared of them in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, we'll have a look. Oh, really, Newport Marina? So you're a sower too? Yeah, anytime you want to email or anything. So I think the way the shares are trying to put it out there with Grandis's phone calls that she's denied, the way they put it to Grandis was, did you do an interview? Have you spoken to people, as in interview, not just conversations on Facebook Messenger? So she's obviously denying she's done an interview because she hasn't done an interview. She's correct. But she is having conversations with people, obviously. Thanks, Ashley. Yeah, we will have a look at it. And, you know, I'm all for saying it how it is, and I know people will get cranky, but I'm not scared of the shares. Like, and Sandy, that's why I'm a little scared to post it anywhere. Guys, don't be scared of her. Although, didn't his father murder 4 people? And yeah, it's tricky, isn't it? But they've got to come a long way to get me all the way over in Australia. I know they can get me virtually. I get that. But it's not like the screenshots are defaming them or anybody in any way. It's just a conversation. Like, it's just a bit of a backup of what Crime Stories Obsessed are saying, that they've messaged her and she's answered. Like, it's not that big of a deal, really, but they want to defend this. There is a lot of craziness out there right now. Like, we don't know 100% what's going on with Mountain Girl and all this striking channels and all that sort of stuff. It is a bit of a worry, but I'm also worried about, you know what would worry me more than the shares is skis, to be honest, because this guy does go real life and he really is in need of psychiatric help. Like, I'm intruding. No, I don't think TBI or any law enforcement, like, we're free to message someone and just ask how they are. And I don't think, I'm pretty sure, Ashley, you wouldn't have been invasive in trying to do like a full-on interrogation or anything like that. Yeah, Griff, I agree. She likes to talk the talk a bit like Skeezy, like she's got everything in the bag and she knows boats and, you know. Oh, Mountain Girl's back, Griff. I didn't know that. As I said, I was out all day yesterday with this COVID shot and I'm a little bit behind. Like, I don't know what's gone on with AB today, but when I hop off, which I better do very soon because that toilet is calling me. Okay, thanks, Ashley. I'll check it in a minute. No, it's just, it is all this. If you've got a channel, you're just a little bit more aware that, you know, they'll try and strike you and get you off and all that sort of stuff. And Skis does go real life, Kim. He really does. He calls CPS on people. He sends police around to knock on people's doors and all this sort of stuff. And I know if you're not doing anything wrong, you've got nothing to worry about, but they're just going too far, some of them. Yeah, I haven't been looking at, I've been on here nearly 3 hours, so no wonder I need to go to the ladies. Who are we talking about? Mountain Girl 212. She took her channel down earlier in the week because I don't know exactly why, but apparently she was getting doxxed and threatened about certain things. So at first everyone thought her channel was striked and taken down, but apparently she took it down. But now Griff is saying she's back up and running again. So that's, you don't like to see anyone feeling scared or intimidated to a point where you feel like you have to take your channel down. That's not okay at all. But yeah, she has a new troll-free channel for the moment. Can't say when she will post. Okay. I had my first dose of trolls the other day, didn't we, Miss Justice? And guys, if anyone knows Loretta, I unblocked her because I accidentally blocked her when I was trying to block a troll. And I've been talking to her on Messenger and stuff, and it's all good. She's unblocked and everything. But I haven't seen her in any of the lives since then. So if anyone sees her, please say hi and let her know we're missing her. Hope she's okay. Oh, Skeezy is on a different planet, Kim. He really is bad news, and I cannot wait till he bites the shares on the ass like he does to every other creator. Like, that's his claim to fame. What he does to other creators, his history is, yeah, that's what I call scary. He is a piece of work. And to this day, he is still ringing and taunting and harassing Rayshawn from Keep It 100. He makes his life a living hell. And Rayshawn plays the daily telephone conversations that Skeez does to him, and they're not pretty at all. I'll pop it in the link again. It's so awesome, but without the E, because I didn't realize I spelled it wrong when I set up the email. So maybe that's why it says it doesn't exist. There should be an E between the W and the S in the proper wording of so awesome, but I didn't put an E in awesome. So if you try that one again. Yeah, a lot of people do that, and it was my mistake when I made the email, so that's probably why that happened. Anyway, guys, I better get off here, and Ashley will have a look at that shortly, and I might do a little thing on that in a little while. Again, thanks so much for coming in. I've got a lot off my chest this afternoon, and I will be back tomorrow, and we can go over some more things. And hopefully we need some news soon, guys. Law enforcement has to get them two back in there and get heavy. They have to give them a really hard dressing down. I think the time has come. It's all right for us to sit back and say we need this to happen, but something really does have to happen, doesn't it? And yeah, I'll come on tomorrow after Chris McDonough's video, and we can have a chat about that and see what else is happening, because no doubt there will be more to come out. Yeah, I don't know, Kim. It's just bizarre, isn't it? Surely the shares know exactly, you know, the only reason I can think that they would have Benny on there is just to get views. Why they would think, I have no clue. It's beyond me. Anyway, guys, I better go. And I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Thanks so much for coming in, and feel free to share out, thumbs up, whatever you want to do. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks. See ya.